where were we last year? We've basically reassigned everyone jobs. Everyone's all healed up. So what the plan is today is we are going to continue to mine and sell the stuff that we mine, and we're gonna buy research books, just your basic research books, as well as maps, so we can get through some of the easy tech tree stuff first, and we'll kind of try to raise up a little bit of money. I'm thinking maybe I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We should be making money pretty quickly on a daily basis because of the amount of people we have working the mines. Yeah, let's just see how this goes. If we save up a bunch of money, see if we can't make a run up to the Fog Islands. There's a bunch of good recruits there. Four of them, in fact, and only one of them costs about 5K. It would help out with the whole mining company thing we've got going. We could have more people working the various nodes. We can expand out a little bit further from town and mine some other nodes that we haven't really exploited yet. So let's get started and see how we do. And since everything's pretty much automated, I'm just going to kind of keep an eye out here and respond to any attacks if they happen. The usual plan is, again, just if we start getting attacked, kite them all back to the gate guards, and then engage in a little bit of combat and do some scavenging afterwards. Now, the problem with taking care of some of these farther nodes, like this copper one up here, uh, it's that kind of the further you get away from your base, the buggier things get. So you kind of have to keep an eye on guys. Well, first of all, you're farther away from the gate guards, so you're more likely to get jumped, and you're more likely to run into mobs. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And then also it gets buggy, and sometimes someone will just like, oop, someone will just stop mining, or they won't come back for food, and it becomes kind of a big problem. But it looks like we're getting attacked here. So let's see what we got going on here. It looks like just a hungry bandit. And it looks like it's just one, so let's just watch the fight play out. Okay, so a couple more have shown up. I'm actually feeling pretty good about taking this fight ourselves. If it was Dust Bandits, I'd be a little more worried. But I think we've got this. There's only one, two, three, four of them. And there's one, two, three, four, five of us here. So I think we should be able to pull this off. If not, all they're going to do is steal some food, and the chances of actually getting killed by these guys are very low. One, because they're the weakest enemy type, and two, because they use blunt weapons. So there's a much smaller chance that you're going to lose a limb, and there's a much smaller chance that you are going to be killed. You'll probably just be KO'd because you won't actually bleed out. There's a couple more here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I still feel kind of good about it. We're at top health. Um, and we got to get started sooner or later, right? I mean, we are dangerously weak. So there's that. But wondering why I don't have the option to right-click on these enemies and say attack all. There we go. Because I do want these guys to kind of spread out and attack different enemies. And the reason behind that is that this game is set up in an interesting way, in that if you want to play with only one character, it's completely viable, because basically you attack and then someone else attacks, and people kind of take turns politely. But the problem is, if you have like 3 of your guys ganged up on one, and they're not attacking other people in the group, then you're basically just doing a lot of standing around and waiting. But we'll see how things go here. I mean, I'm not loving that Silvershade is doing hand-to-hand combat, but he is distracting this guy from ganging up on anybody else. He's doing a pretty good job. Okay, Doc Chung went down. He'll be fine. The other thing is, some of our best fighters are here fighting as well. So, alright, Silvershade did go down. I'll have Doc Chung just first aid himself. He's not going to be much use in a fight anyways. I mean, we got to take these fights sooner or later. We can't keep running back to the guards every single time there's a problem, so. Ooh, that was brutal. Okay, so let's have these guys heal themselves up instead of mining. So we'll turn off their jobs. And we'll do Kang next. Silvershade. And Stubbs. And Doc Chung. Okay, so it looks like everybody's back to mining. I don't want to leave Doc Chung out here while he's unconscious. It's only going to be for 50 seconds. I mean, it's not that bad, really. You generally don't want to leave people unconscious, because if they're just lying around, slavers can try to claim him as a slave because he's knocked out. It's generally a bad idea. So maybe I'll just tell Stubbs to pick up Doc Chung until Doc Chung regains consciousness. He'll still continue mining with Doc Chung on his shoulder. And it actually looks like Stubbs is going back with a bunch of iron, so that'll be a good opportunity to put him to bed. Now, if I wanted to be extra careful, I guess the smart thing to do would, first of all, just be to take all their weapons away. So let's go ahead and do that with Kang. They're a lot less dangerous without weapons. because they're not very good at martial arts. Pants really aren't worth much at all. We'll steal his pants too, just to add insult to injury. I mean, at some point, we're going to have to stop stealing all this garbage loot. It's just it's tough in the early game when you're trying to make every penny count, right? I think that's it for all the guys that went down. I mean, technically, these pants are worth less. It's a shirt here, so we'll switch that out. Yeah, I think we're fine. We'll follow Stubbs as he hobbles into town, so to speak. And again, is having a bunch of your people injured ideal? No. But these are like the least risky fights that we are going to take. So we might as well go ahead and, just take these fights while they happen. I'll just tell Stubbs to put Doc Chung into bed. I'm also going to turn off Doc Chung's jobs off because otherwise he would wake up and start mining immediately. And we do not want that because we want him to make the full use of that rented bed. Again, if we were really big on saving money, we'd just set up our sleeping bags in our base. But, I'd rather just have this guy at full health as soon as possible and pay the 50 cats. Because you're going to see that we're making money at a pretty fast clip once this first day of mining is done. 135 units. Gonna be big for the program. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sell to the bars to try to refill our food stores. We're really trying to get as much dried meat as possible, just because from a cat's perspective, per nutrition value, it's the most efficient. And as we get more people in our group, since we don't farm, it's going to get harder and harder to feed them. So I'd like to have as large of a stockpile at home as possible. Oh, you can't afford it anymore. Great. So let's take all the food and sell them some more junk. Awesome. And we'll go on to the next vendor. And I think that there's a trick here we can use when this stuff's nearby that we can sell directly from our stores. Well, let's give it a shot, see how that works. There's some way to like mass sell it all, but I forgot how. It's been a year since I've played, so. Thank God people love buying copper run. Alright, can't afford anymore. Move on to the next shop. Okay, that's all the food. Now that we have all that food, let's go, I guess, to the travel shop first. And we'll go ahead and buy all the books and gear that we can get. Yeah, so we got around 29K for a day's worth of mining, which is not bad at all. If these were large thieves' backpacks, I'd buy them. Also, I think we might need more wooden backpacks as well. Buy the map to Mongrel. We do want the map to Mongrel, though, so we'll buy that. And we don't want the Tech Hunters map. That's not really useful for us. We do want to buy all the books, though. And I think that's all that we need. I say we start, just get a good base of books to start researching with. And then we'll, buy extra travel equipment and stuff like that. Let's just get that map to Mongrel. And we'll go to the general store and we'll see if this guy sells any books as well. I think he does. Yeah, he does. Some other things we can buy. Let's grab it like this. Organize some of this as well. We should probably buy 2 bits of wheat. We're going to need that to research. How is it? How much stacks here? 4? It's probably more efficient. Stack this stuff over here. And then we can probably fit 2 cacti here. And 2 cotton. What else do we got here? We've got hemp as well. We'll come back and buy the hemp. And the reason why I'm buying those plants is because before you can research uh, the basics, it requires you to have two of whatever crop you're trying to learn how to grow, as well as a bunch of books. Let's drop off all the meat, which looks like we're doing just in time. And we'll click on our research bench. Ooh, and we've still got a junk bow there. Excellent. All right. Drop off all the wheat. Cotton. Cactus. And all the books. Now, I don't know how many actual research books we need, but I have a feeling the answer is a lot because we've done barely any research, only the free stuff so far, and so let's take a look at what we've got here in terms of research. So I'm going to take Doc Chunk off of operating iron resource. And we're just going to have him constantly be researching. And really, the only road bump you're having here with research is the cost of the books, right? So we really don't care, you know, what order we do it in and how we do it. All right, so we're short a couple books. We're short 5 books. We need rice, wheat, and books for that. Okay, so we got a bit of a research queue here. And if everything works out well, start researching. Great. Okay, so we've got the basic research going on. We got a little bit of food saved up. So we'll just wait for the next day, sell off a bunch of stuff, and buy some more stuff. So what we need to do is build a better research station. So let's switch to this group here. Before we dismantle this research station, let's remove all this stuff so we don't lose it. We'll remove the crossbow as well. You probably get like 1 plate back for dismantling this, but it never hurts to have a couple extra iron plates. Oh, that was building material. Okay, let's pick that up. Move these guys out of the way. And let's go ahead and build a better research bench. We'll tell these guys to build it. Let's give them the engineering like auto job. I don't like how these buildings build in segments and then they suddenly stop. Why can't you just apply all the material and build all the way through? I never understood that design choice, you know? All right. So we've got the tier 2 research bench down. Let's go ahead and drop off all the research items here. I guess it wouldn't hurt to throw this here. Hope we don't forget it. Drop off more of these books. Okay, we've got that going. So Doc Chung can stop doing engineering. Make these two guys be our builders since they're not doing anything anyways. Okay. So let's queue up our research bench here. Okay, so we've got queued up here 5, 7, 10, 14, 18, 22, 25, 7, 20, 30. We got enough days of research queued here that I'm not too worried about Doc Chung running out of anything to do. So he's going to start researching. Puhat and Borland can just kind of stand around. And I think that we sell off everything tomorrow morning. We buy a bunch of more like calorie dense food just for the road so we don't have to carry as much. And so it's to get a little more bang for your buck. And then I think we go over to the hub. We'll see if they've got any like backpacks for sale at the Shinobi Thieves. Or any good blueprints. We hire some mercs, and then we cut back from there and head into Mongrel. I think that's the plan. Okay. We'll turn on group run. Get on out of here. Okay, where exactly are they running to? God, the pathfinding on this game. Jesus. I even downloaded a mod for better pathfinding, but Try that again. I mean, I guess technically this is faster than staying on the road. Probably more likely to aggro a bunch of bandits and whatnot, though. Yeah. Don't know where you guys are going, but not it. I guess first we'll check out if the Shinobi Thieves have any, like, large thieves backpacks for sale. So let's go. Look at that, they do. All right. So Kang has one. Let's give one to Rain. I'm trying to give like my strongest and best combat guys the large backpacks because there is a slight debuff, a -2 combat skill. So, and there's a black plate leather jacket for half off. I mean, we gotta buy it, right? I mean, technically, white plate jackets are have better like armor, but they also have a huge debuff to sneaking. And let's be honest, we're gonna be doing a lot of sneaking. So let's buy this blueprint. All right. Now let's grab everybody. Go to the bar. And see, one, if there's any food available. Two, if there's any mercs. So there's no mercs around. Less than ideal. Probably because we killed them on our last run. And they don't respawn. Huh. Well, this might change things. Let's go buy some. See if we can buy some food. So we'll get meat wraps for the people that metabolize the fastest. Man, that Gohan's got a really good price to nutrition ratio. So let's put that here. 30 nutrients. Okay. I don't know. I still. You were already out here, right? It's a bummer that we killed off those mercs. Let's give it a shot, right? We're gonna be cutting into holy territory. I think we'll run into any. I mean, we could cut through here into the high village, and then we can always resupply there, as well as here. And they also might have blueprints for stuff that we want. I mean, this is a much safer path, though. Because we can run into a whole bunch of beak things right around here. And gorillas and whatnot. And what else? Let's try it, right? What the heck? Let's try it. So this can go pretty well or pretty badly. It's probably going to go pretty badly. All right. All right, who's that over there? Hungry bandit. Let's slow our roll here and sneak by him. I don't know, maybe we just book it straight for the high village. I think we should keep sneak on, especially since it's starting to get darker. I really don't want to run into any beak things or gorillas. That went well so far. Well, this is the easy part here. That looks like the trade shop over there. This looks like a regular residence. There's a shop over here as well. But this is a whatchamacallit? Mechanics. Or a mechanist shop, so. Let's see what they got for sale. Oh, they're freaking out because we've got whatchamacallits. Hiveless ones. I didn't think of that. Let's try that again. All right. Didn't think that one through. So now he's just gonna freak out without selling us anything. Uh, let's move on to see how we do. So we need to sneak here. All right. That's a gorilla that we want to avoid. I mean, the fact that we haven't had to dodge any beak things yet is pretty good. All right, let's try this again. We'll look for a trader shop, but we'll keep all of our green little guys outside. Okay, but this shop is closed. I said we wait. All right, let's see what they got. We definitely want the rice weed just for research purposes. If you ever find these generator cores during your travels, it's worth considering picking up because they're like extremely heavy. So they can be used really well for weight training and whatnot, and strength training. But we're certainly not going to do that now. It's kind of like a more long-term thing when you're more powerful. But let's see what they've got for blueprints. I think we get the hive leather vest, the plated drifter pins. And let's check on our food situation. We're doing pretty good for food, I think. Yeah, they got some dried fish here. I mean, worst case scenario is we just have too much food and come home with food. We have spent a lot of money though. But there's not that much to buy. I mean, we need $5,000 for Infinite Wang, and the rest is kind of free money we can play with. So I'm okay with this. Let's head on out. And let's just sneak to be safe. Around here, I think there's only starving bandits. But I'd still like to just come in at full health before we try to run for Mongrel. So, okay, so those are Holy Nation outlaws. They're gonna attack if they see us. So let's hold off here. Okay. Now around here, like once we get over this hill, it becomes a little more dangerous because fogmen can wander out there. You're still unlikely to get swarmed by fogmen out here, but there is a little more danger here. All right, so now we're kind of at a decision point here. Do we want to head in now? You know, the benefits are we haven't been in any fights, and if we wait out here, someone might attack us. On the flip side, it's easier to sneak in the dark. Although I don't know how much the fog affects all of that. Well, let's just save our game. And try to make a run for it, yeah? And I'm just trying to zoom out as much as I can so we can have as much kind of view of what's going on around us. The fogmen tend to kick up dust because they run so fast, so you can kind of see them coming from far away. Now, unfortunately, because they run so fast, if you're unlucky, you may not be able to sneak past them and get away, but we'll try our darndest here. Alright, looks like we've made it to the Fog Islands. Let's shoot for like right around here. We kind of want to zoom out as much as we can. And you see here, you'll see here that they're running around. So let's slow things down. Alright, they're just kind of walking. So I think by the time we get to them, they'll have walked on by. Alright, so now they're still walking. Problem is, I don't trust our sneak that much to get that close. So let's give them just a wide berth. Alright. We managed to avoid that patrol. You can see here we've got one death yard over there. Now the problem is you can like walk up all the way here, but then sometimes to get across, you have to walk back down. It's generally safer to walk around at like higher altitudes, but sometimes you're going to get kind of like, for instance, well, maybe we can. Now you see here, it'll just kind of force you to go all the way down. So let's go this way. And we're going at a little bit slower speed. And so you see that light in the distance, that's a Fogman Death Yard. It shows up on our map right now. So let's give it as wide of a berth as we can. I know it doesn't seem like much is going on, but this is very tense because we're so weak. If we run into like a powerful group of fogmen, we're dead, and their camp is just like right there. Okay, we've gotten a pretty good distance. We kind of just again want to shoot kind of to go around this way. So let's get up this way. And we just want to keep an eye out. And we kind of want to like shoot for right over here. It may even make sense to kind of skirt this area. Can we go this way? Nah, it looks like it gets cut off there. So let's keep walking. Oh, see, there's some fogmen right there. And it looks like they're walking this direction. So let's see if we can't cut up this way to avoid them. Okay. We're getting there. Again, I'm just zoomed out as far as I can so we can see where these fogmen are coming from. And that looks like there's a camp down there as well, but I can't tell. So let's try to kind of cut along here. Okay, well you can see here in the distance we've got Mongrel right here, so we're getting there. We kind of just have to skirt along here. I'm actually surprised it's going this well. And again, like when you get at a higher level, you can just basically waltz through here. But right now, if we get caught up with too many fogmen, or let's say, oh, uh-oh. Yeah, and these are tough ones as well. Maybe if we cut to the left here, they'll leave us alone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, just avoid them. Whew. All right, let's keep an eye on these guys because they will wreck us. I mean, conceivably we could take them out. Here's another group of fogmen here. They seem to be going in that same general direction as well. So let's just give them some wide berth here. Conceivably, we might be able to take them on. I doubt it. Okay, so it looks like they've switched directions. They're heading this way. So let's cut this way. Okay, I think we're getting there. Like a regular group of fogmen, we could definitely take out with some difficulty. But you see here, we're so close to the entrance. That's like the entrance right there. Now, there's some danger in being so close to a cliff because we really have nowhere else to avoid everyone. Oh gosh. No, 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 no. Okay. Yeah. This is not ideal. But we're getting there. If we can just avoid them, because even like if we get close enough to the gates of Mongrel, we can try to just make a run for it. Even if we do get caught. And then, you know, take the hits. And hopefully we can limp in and get some help before they kill us. It looks like there's a death camp, like right here. So we just want to avoid it all as much as we can. Nice, and we're getting just to Mongrel as dawn is coming. And we're losing our stealth bonus from the darkness. Alright, man. Usually my runs are a lot more hairy and or deadly than that. How are we doing on tech? Oh, we still got some tech lined up. Man, I'm gonna slap down a save and call that a win. Again, if we were better at running, that's the best way to do it. 19 miles an hour, you should be clear. But we made it. So what I'm gonna do is just mute, take a break, and we'll talk about what we're doing here in Mongrel. Okay, so what are we doing in Mongrel? First of all, this is a Shinobi Thieves Tower, so if you do get banged up coming in here, you can use the beds on the almost top floor and this top floor and rooftop to heal up. The real reason why we're here is there's 4 unique recruits here, and we'll go around and recruit all of them. One of them costs 5k. We're coming in with, 9.5k. So let's go into the Shinobi Thieves Tower and see if they've got anything for sale, because we do get the half off discount. So let's talk to this guy. And we got some thieves backpacks, large ones, which is what we want. There's some nice stuff, but we just don't have the money for it. So these are run as 1250, so we can get 2 of them and still have enough to recruit everybody that we want here. So let's see who can get a backpack. We've got one on Rain and Kang and Oron. So let's throw one on Ruka. And transfer all her stuff here. Except for the medkits. And who else do we want to throw a backpack on? I mean, I guess Hamut would be our best fighter. Yeah, because he's probably better than lurking. Yeah, he's much better than lurking. Okay, so Hamut will get a backpack as well. Okay. And we don't have enough money. Okay, how about this? We leave here and we go to a store here because they'll buy stuff at full price. And we'll see if we can sell something there. Also, while I'm here, let's just use these blueprints. So we've got plated drifter pants and a leather hide vest. Well, we got some time before the shops open. We got about an hour or so. Well, let's keep walking. We can sell stuff anywhere, really. So let's walk to this first bar here. And we'll see who's in here. No one. That means, because we just came into town, everyone's probably walking around, so we'll come back here later. But in the meantime, let's see what he's got, what he's willing to pay for here. Like a meat wrap for $2.96. We do need food, though. I mean, this long sword, let's be honest, is probably better than this horse chopper. And so let's sell the horse chopper. We're just a couple short. What if we sold like a piece of meat? 41. That'll put us over 5,000. Perfect. Okay. All right. So there's no one in this bar. Let's walk into this bar, see if there's anybody that's recruitable here. All right. So here's Crumple John. We can recruit him. And there's Infinite Wang. He's the guy we have to pay for. There's another like random recruit here, but we don't care about them. So let's talk to Crumble John first. All right, and he's actually a pretty decent fighter, all things considered. He's even got a pretty good strength. Probably not good enough for this fragment axe, but we'll fix all the equipment stuff later. Now let's have a lurking talk to Infinite Wang. And he's going to want 100,000 cats, so we can bargain him down to 5,000. Let's make him a little bit taller. I don't know. I don't like how he's kind of a squat guy here. Whoops. There we go. And he's a pretty good fighter as well. So we've got 2 of the 4. Now we just have to find Shrike and Beep. Beep is actually a terrible fighter, but he's a fan favorite, and if you ever like read the dialogue, you'll see why. Plus, he's a free recruit, so you really can't go wrong with that. All right, let's go into this bar, see if we can find Shrike. Oh, there's Beep. You'll find Beep because he says Beep. Oops. Nope, nothing, never mind. That's the wrong guy. Here's Beep. Nice. Now, if I had more forethought, I would have come here with some Dust Bandit equipment for him to wear, and at least a weapon of some sort. but I did not. So what we're going to do is we're going to make Beep block, just to increase his defense and passive so he doesn't go around looking for trouble. And so if we do get into a fight, you know, maybe I can use him to kite around enemies. But I think I was just so excited to come here that I didn't really think things through. So moral of the story, these other guys that we get, they come pretty well equipped. Not Beep. Crumble John also, we probably should have come with some armor for him, but, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, and that's Shrike over there. Now, honestly, if we had more money, there's some really good blueprints here. Like, I believe you can get the black plated jacket and the white plated jacket. We just do not have the funds for it. We're down to 25 cats, which is not great. So let's recruit Shrike. Okay, so we've gotten 4 new recruits. And, yeah, I really can't complain with this run so far. Let's make sure that no one's... Okay, so this doesn't affect anything negatively. This has a lower stealth effect, so maybe we take it off and he walks barefoot along with the rest of us. Same thing with her. So on the one hand, if we do get caught in a fight, we've got two decent fighters, one not so great fighter, and one useless guy. But hopefully we can avoid the fights. I would love to get out with minimal damage here. But basically we're out of money, so there's not much else we can do here. So let me just throw in another save. We've still got plenty of tech lined up, so we're good there. I mean, the thought of going back through the Foglands during the day seems a lot more dangerous. If I was smart, I'd wait till night, evening again, and do the same thing I did last time, and we'll head on out. Alright, now that we're like this far in, we should probably just all start sneaking. And again, we just kind of want to avoid this death yard over here in this direction. And hopefully avoid everybody. Okay, let's keep going. Thankfully, that Fog Prince is probably going to eat somebody, so he left us alone. That was really dumb, though. We should have kept a better eye on things. So basically, if the Fogmen catch you, they'll put you on a bunch of poles, and they'll eat bits of you, and then they'll start like this whole worship phase, and then a Fog Prince will show up and devour you. So if you see people like screaming in the distance, that's what's happening to them. Alright, let's keep going. Where? Okay, they're coming from back here. That they can kind of see us. Let's slow things down. Okay, so they're kind of running perpendicular to us. I think we're in the clear there. Let's speed things up a little bit. And again, we want to give this as wide of a berth as possible. That's probably the most dangerous spot in this whole journey. Okay, so somebody sees us. I don't know who, though. Are they, like, really close to us? I just don't know who this is. Yeah, so they're definitely eating someone they caught. Hopefully that keeps them busy so we can sneak by while they're doing their whole devouring people thing. I just can't for the life of me figure out who that is behind us that sees us. Okay. So we almost triggered an attack, but it looks like they're kind of distracted by devouring that guy over there. Oh, no, here's one coming for us. I mean, if it's just one guy, no, it's two. But they're just regular fogmen. So let's throw on our boots. Probably should take off the lantern, yeah? Duh. And we'll just slow things down real fast until this first guy is real close. And then we'll turn off sneak and attack him. And let's just do an attack all. No. Well, we kind of just have to make sure that no one kind of sneaks out too far. Okay, no. Stop. Attack this guy. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to, I think we got everybody here, right? So let's go back to sneaking. And we'll just heal up real quick. Okay, now we're going to take off our boots again, just to get that maximum sneak bonus, and skedaddle out of here. And hopefully that's the only fight we have to take, you know? And I think it just helps that they're devouring that guy over there in the distance. Okay, let's get out of here before we get into any more trouble. Also, I think the reason why everyone was seeing us so clearly was because Shrike had that Lantern of Radiance equipped, which is nice if you need light in the darkness, but it's not ideal if you're trying to sneak. Alright, it looks like someone's seeing us, but hopefully we can just sneak away. Yeah, so we got lucky that only a few fogmen came, and they were just regular fogmen and not heavies or princes, because I don't think we're just up to snuff to fight those guys yet. I think we can speed things up a little bit. And I just got to be careful because we're so close to getting out. I don't want to get reckless. But we're definitely getting there. Let's just kind of zoom out as much as we can and just keep an eye around us. Okay, so what do we got here? Those are a bunch of fogmen, so let's slow things down and kind of circle around them. And they can already kind of see us from that distance. So let's give them a wider berth. And again, we're just... If we can just grab this one straggler here by himself. Okay, all right. Let's sneak up again. And just first aid real quick. Alright, and we are hidden again. Now these fogmen are, they look like they're kind of turning, they're still kind of walking away. So let's get on out of here. And again, it looks like we've got Another Fogman coming here. But again, if it's not the whole pack... Okay. Let's everybody sneak up again. And heal up. And just keep an eye out on where those Fogmen are. Okay, they're kind of going away. So let's again see if we can't kind of walk back in the direction that we were going originally. And for those small fights, I didn't bother putting the boots back on, because, you know, we can definitely take on a single Fogman. You gotta watch out for this pathing. I feel like it's gonna put us into a dead end here. Maybe it won't, though. Oh my gosh, we made it out. Let's wait till we get to this like green area before we put our boots back on. Okay. Let's put the boots on. In case we run into any battles. Now, we're not out of the woods yet. And I'll explain in a second as soon as we've got all our clothes on. Okay. So one, I'm just going to throw down a save because that went really, really well. Usually, as underleveled as we are, we probably should have gotten wrecked. I think we just got lucky there. Usually, you know, I can stumble in just barely with everyone surviving. I call that a win. The fact that we walked in without any fights and left with only a couple minor ones is huge. We're not out of the woods yet because basically, like, all this area, you've got like gorillas that come out and beak things. The smart thing to do would be to walk along this way. My fear is we might run into the Holy Nation because they sometimes patrol all the way out into Okran's Gulf here. On the other hand, if we go down this way, it's longer, and we might run into beak things. Let's take our chances, and we'll just keep an eye out and see if we can give a wide berth to the Holy Nation. I think we might be able to run out a bunch of paladins, run away from a bunch of paladins. So let's try that. Also, we still got some tech queued up, so that's good. All right, what do we got up here? Fogman. Let's give him some room. All right, looks like we got one coming in. All right. There's not too many Fogmen in here, so let's... and it looks like they were already damaged. So let's just take them out real quick. And this guy looks like he's running for his life. So if he's not going to bother us, I'm not going to bother him. Okay. There's some kind of enemy camp here, but I still think this is the way to go. So let's just keep sneaking out of here. And I'm being a little overly cautious. We could probably potentially run it, but it would be really embarrassing if we made it through the foglands and whatnot, only to die on our way home. Oh, those are just some nomads. I don't care about that. Kind of nervous, so let's pull these guys back a little bit. I mean, the last thing we want to do is just stumble into some kind of beak thing nest. You know, I know that we're technically following a road here, but it doesn't really feel like it, does it? I mean, I don't see any road. Okay, yeah, so those are Holy Nation. There's no point in hiding. He's going to want to enslave our guys. So let's see if we can't outrun them. It looks like he's running at 21, but he's having some trouble keeping up with us. We're only running at 19, but for whatever reason, he can't seem to get the hit off. So we're just going to basically run away. Yeah, I knew this would probably happen. We're just going to keep running and running and running until they think it's not safe for us, safe to follow us. Maybe also he's waiting to do some dialogue to like talk to us to take slaves. But I really don't want to hang around long enough to find out. And on the plus side, you don't have to see me slowly Alright, it looks like they lost interest in us. Yeah, basically that Holy Nation guy would have just tried to enslave all our non-Greenlanders, which is not the nice thing to do. Well, this is why people love Beep. Okay. Um, so on the one hand, it's safer to take the roads. It may not be the most direct route. It'd probably be safer just to go straight to the hub, then down. Only because if you're in this area, there's beak things. There's a chance of beak things getting you. If we go in this direction, it's much easier enemies, and we just go the long way around. And I'm okay with going the long way around. So, and in fact, we're kind of so far away that we're kind of in a safer area zone. So let's just start running. I feel like we could take care of the odd Dust Bandit group. I mean, we might have some difficulties with the Dust Bandits, but yeah, those are just slave mongers. That's fine. But we could definitely take on the Dust Bandits. Maybe not the. Sorry, Starving Bandits. Maybe not the Dust Bandits. And while we're here in the hub, let's just take a look in the bar, because there could be a free recruit in there. I doubt it, but it's possible. Yeah, there's no one here that we really need. I forget the name of the guy, but sometimes in this starting town, you get a free recruit. He's insane, and I forget his name, but it's definitely an option. Should be paying more attention. That bone dog just walked right by us. We could take on a single bone dog, but I should be keeping a better eye on things if I'm being honest. Amazing. Are we out of tech? Okay, yeah, so Doc Chung's just kind of standing around. Okay, I think that this is a good place to cut it. We made it back safely with all our new recruits. Next episode, I'm gonna kind of give people back their jobs and reassign jobs. We're getting to the point where our party size is large enough that there may not be much point in grabbing other recruits yet. I like to have them all at once so they're all kind of the same level combat wise. Uh, and there are like nodes out here that, you know, I'll show you later that are farther out that you can still mine and bring back home. But the problem is the farther you go out, one, the more likely you are to get jumped and potentially killed or dismembered. And two, although around here it's kind of a starter area, so maybe not. And then two, there's much more chance that your character acts in a bugged way and just doesn't do his job well or doesn't come back to eat. So it does bring additional headaches. So I think next episode I'm going to assign out the jobs. We're going to build some more stuff, manufacturing stuff in our house, and we'll continue just to mine up, tech up, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. Probably after that, we're actually going to start training for real, which we've been playing for several hours and just really haven't done. So we'll go into that. But with that, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and don't think it's usually that easy to get to Mongrel with such an underleveled, uh, unequipped group. This was just kind of a blessed run. I don't think it's ever been, maybe once or twice in all my playthroughs it's been that good or better. So get that run speed, that athletic speed up to 19, and you should be able to just run away if you get into real trouble. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.